for Peter Franklin.
Yes, sir. Okay, you're on.
Thank you, Joe. Let's call the Public Works and Utilities Committee for February 8th, 2021 to order. Can we have a roll call, please, Ms. Diaz?
Yes. Councilor Garcia,
Present.
Councilor Abeyta,
Here.
Councilor Lindell,
Here.
Councilor Vigil Koppler,
Here.
and Chairman Rivera.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Any changes from staff, Ms. Wheeler?
No changes from staff, Mr. Chair.
Anything from the committee? Or the wishes of the committee?
Move to approve. Second.
Motion for approval by Councilor Lindell, second by Councilor Vigil Koppler. Any further discussion? We have a roll call vote, please, Ms. Diaz.
Councilor Garcia,
Yes.
Councilor Abeyta,
Yes.
Councilor Lindell,
Yes.
Councilor Vigil Koppler,
Yes.
and Chairman Rivera.
Yes. Next is approval of the consent agenda. Any changes from staff, Ms. Wheeler?
Changes, Chairman.
All right, anything the committee would like to pull off of the consent agenda?
Mr. Chair?
Councilor Vigil Koppler.
I'd like to pull item E.
E is in Edward.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see any other hands up. All right, so item E is the only item that I see that's being pulled. So what are the wishes of the committee?
Move for approval as amended.
Second.
Motion for approval is amended by Councilor Abeyta, second by Councilor Lindell. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can we have a roll call vote, please, Ms. Diaz?
Councilor Garcia,
Yes.
Councilor Abeyta,
Yes.
Councilor Lindell,
Yes.
Councilor Vigil Koppler,
Yes.
and Chairman Rivera.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next, approval of the minutes from January 25th. Any changes from staff, Ms. Wheeler?
No changes, Chairman.
All right, anything from the committee? Wishes of the committee?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion for approval by Councilor Lindell for the minutes, second by Councilor Vigil Koppler. Any further discussion? We have a roll call vote, please, Ms. Diaz.
Councilor Garcia,
Yes.
Councilor Abeyta,
Yes.
Councilor Lindell,
Yes.
Councilor Vigil Koppler,
Yes.
and Chairman Rivera.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Ms. Diaz. Public comment. Do we have anything, Ms. Diaz?
There was no public comment.
All right, is there anybody on that may be here for public comment?
Mark, maybe. I didn't receive anything from him, but I don't recognize the name, so he may be here for public comment.
What's the last name, Ms. Diaz?
Steenkamp? Mark
Anyone
Steenkamp.
recognize that name as a city employee or staff member?
I can unmute him if you'd like, just to see.
Mr. Chairman, this is Kurt Temple. He was with the facility build project for the restrooms. He was on standby to talk about that if there were questions.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so we have no public comment tonight. Thank you, Ms. Diaz. Appreciate that. Next, we're on to item 7A, matters from public utility staff regarding wastewater management divisions. Anthony. There's a crazy echo. Sorry.
If someone could please, everyone mute themselves, please. They're probably getting feedback from watching this on YouTube, possibly.
Thank you, Joe. Can you help me with that last name, Mr. Jones? Anthony.
Yes, Mr. Chair. It's a Kurite.
Kurite. All right, Anthony Caridi and the Canyon Road Water Treatment Plant receiving recognition from the New Mexico Water and Wastewater Association. Mr. Jones, are you presenting?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
I did just want to take a couple minutes. The memo did try to highlight the recognition, but definitely extremely proud of my department and my staff, especially when they're recognized by outside organizations, especially amongst their peers. Again, the Wastewater Association of New Mexico is a membership organization, provides a ton of training opportunities, section workshops, where these water and wastewater professionals opportunity to network with themselves, other cities, and even with vendors and new technology. But but it is my pleasure to let the committee know that so Anthony Caridi was recognized by this association as the Collection Systems Operator of the Year for his work and dedication, and that Canyon Road Water Treatment Plant was recognized as the most improved facility in 2020 for the work that they're doing. And so I just wanted to bring them forth. I know that Jonathan and Aaron Rand, both representatives from Canyon Road, are here. I do not believe that Anthony was able to make it, but just wanted to present that to the committee. It's exciting for me and my department and for these guys, and I appreciate the work that they do. And with that, Mr. Chair, I'll stand for questions.
All right, thank you. Let's hear from the staff that are here and give them a couple minutes to say a little bit about themselves. Will you acknowledge them again, Mr. Jones, and bring them up one at a time?
Yes, of course, Mr. Chair. Thank you. We can start with Jonathan Montoya, who's the Source of Supply Manager, oversees the Canyon Road facility.
Good evening. So yeah, I've had an opportunity at Source of Supply to pretty much try my hand at all the ranks there, from an operator to working in maintenance, and you know we worked real hard to try to take care of. We have an aging facility, and it's a challenge to try and keep everything going and up to par. And I'm really proud of the staff that I have. Aaron and Joe Olivas, our maintenance supervisor. They worked really hard to really get us up to speed, improve our equipment, improve our operations, really standardize procedures, and really, tighten up the loose ends. So I'm really happy for that, and I appreciate the acknowledgement as well. It's pretty honorable to have the Wastewater Association acknowledge us, especially since they visit all the water facilities around the state, and they get to see who's making improvements, and it's quite honorable to get that acknowledgement. So
thank you, Mr. Montoya. Appreciate that. Mr. Jones, anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I would like to recognize Aaron Rand, who's on the call. He's the operational supervisor for the Canyon Road Water Treatment Plant. Aaron, I hope that you can maybe take a couple minutes.
Oh. Sorry about that, folks. Audio trouble there. Can you hear me all?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been at Canyon Road now a little over 2 years, and we've put in a lot of work and made a lot of upgrades to a lot of equipment, mainly, just getting together what we can. But we've been grateful that we've had more staff put on. That's helped tremendously, and it's just really awesome to win this award, and great recognition for the whole crew. Thank you.
Well, thank you both for being here. We're extremely proud of you guys for really the facility, and for Anthony. I'm sorry he couldn't be here with us this evening, but You guys are doing a great job. I think many of us have been out there to the facility and looked around and had a tour from Jonathan and able to meet some others. And the work you're doing is remarkable. And this is just a testament of that. So thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Mr. Rand, Mr. Jones. Please extend our well wishes to Anthony. Again, I'm sorry he couldn't be here, but let him know that we're extremely proud of him. Any other counselors wish to address? Counselor Vihil-Coppler?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do want to recognize and thank the wastewater treatment plant and Anthony for winning this award and bringing some really nice attention to the city. And, you know, these facilities are not usually up in the forefront with the public. And I think that, you know, working under the radar and doing such a good job deserves this recognition. Shannon, thank you for bringing this forward to us. I did talk to our communications director, David Herndon, I think is how you say his last name, and alerted him that this was on our agenda tonight. And I think there's some pictures, or a picture I saw at one time. I think it might still be here, but I asked him to take a look, because when we have recognition like this, it deserves to be in whatever communication he sends out. I know he sends out newsletters and emails and such. So I called his attention to the photos and asked him to get in touch with you, Shannon, if there was any other information he might need. But a picture of all these employees would be nice to have, the ones you have listed. I think that would be a great opportunity to further that recognition. So thanks to both Jonathan, you, and, oh, did he leave? Mr. Rand, I don't, oh, yes, here he is. He's still here. Aaron Rand, thank you for your work, and please convey thanks to all the other employees. You're very much appreciated. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Vihil-Coppler. Anyone else? Councilor Garcia is giving a thumbs up. Councilor Abeyta as well. So thank you, Mr. Jones, again, and thank you to all the staff. I know it's a team effort, and Jonathan and Aaron are here on behalf of the entire team. So thank you all again. Appreciate it. Next, we're on to our consent agenda and item E, which is a request approval for the use of the 2018 NMGRT reallocation of $322,190 capital funds from the GCC mezzanine project within Public Works for the purchase of a replacement street sweeper for the Streets Division. Councilor Vihil-Coppler, you pull this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to ask a question. As I read this, $581,488 was appropriated just last October for the Genevieve Chavez, apparently, well, I don't know if it was all for the mezzanine or not, but October wasn't that long ago. And now it's February, and we're asking to move $322,190 of that money to a complete change in division, which I'm not against, sweepers. I definitely think we need to replace those, but I'm curious what changed between just October to now in the amount of $322,000, and what did not get done at the Genevieve Chavez Center with this money?
Thank you so much for the question, Councilor Vihil-Coppler, Chairman. So it ends up that we had already funded the mezzanine under another funding source, and it wasn't realized when we put that bar together that funding was there. So Emily found it for us. And so the Streets Division is in dire need. As you can tell from the memo, the age of those sweepers is way out of bounds. And so the mezzanine project is ongoing. It's funded through a different source, and we're getting the Streets Division, the sweeper, with the replacement. So I'm sorry for that early mistake. It is quite it's rather complex in the finance system to get super duper clear about everything. And we did discover that that other project was funded. It was requested actually in the original allocation in September. So we're actually making a correction that was from the original September 9th reallocation that John Romero brought forth. And we're making that correction now.
Well, it just seemed to me to be quite a bit of difference. You know, sometimes you have a few little funds left over and, you know, you BAR them to something else, but this is a major chunk, which then leads me to the original request, which seems like maybe that was overfunded in the first place.
Chairman and Councilor Vihil-Coppler, you mean the mezzanine was overfunded?
Yes.
It's correct. It was already funded and it didn't need to be on the list. So we are reallocating those funds.
Well, okay. I appreciate your answer. I guess I'm just like a little bit kind of wondering, how does this happen? But it happened. And I don't disagree that, you know, the money would go to a good purpose with the streets, but gee, I guess we need to scrutinize some requests in the future more carefully. That's what I learned from this, but okay, that's all I need. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Vihil-Coppler. Any other questions? Ms. Wheeler, this happens not really frequently, but it can happen. Like if we budget for something at the beginning of the fiscal year and then the legislature appropriates money for the same thing that we budgeted for, then we'd have to move money around, correct?
That's true, Chairman. And whenever we move anything over $60,000, we bring it back to governing body. So if we find a mistake that we've made where we've asked for an allocation that then needs to be redistributed, we come back to the governing body for that approval.
Thank you. So that's just a small example, Councilor Vihil-Coppler. It doesn't happen often, but those are some of the reasons that it could happen.
Mr. Chair?
Councilor Vihil-Coppler.
I understand that. I guess because Ana Viva Chavez is one of our largest facilities and has been an imperfect facility with its problems along the years, and without a facility manager for over 5 years. And I think we recently had a public comment where there's rest developing all over the place. And I just have a concern that we take money from a facility that is in need of maintenance. But it is going for a good cause, don't get me wrong. But certainly I can think of a lot of reasons to use that money within that facility. But I guess just not now.
Understand, Councilor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Very good. Thank you. We're on to item 9, action items, discussion. No items under that. Executive session, none.
Oh, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I move to approve item E.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Second.
Motion for approval of item E from Councilor Vihil-Coppler, second from Councilor Beta. Any further discussion? We have a roll call vote, please, Ms. Diaz.
Councilor Garcia,
Yes.
Councilor Beta,
Yes.
Councilor Lindell,
You're muted, Councilor Lindell.
Yes.
Thank you.
Councilor Vihil-Coppler,
Yes.
and Chairman Rivera.
Yes. Thank you
Motion
for that,
passes.
Councilor Vihil-Coppler. Thank you, Ms. Diaz. No items under 9, nothing under 10. Matters from staff. Ms. Wheeler.
Thank you so much, Chairman. I'm very happy to be able to introduce to you today our new Engineering Division Director, Javier Rosado. He's on the Zoom call with us. He is taking the position that John Romero vacated on October 4th. Javier comes to us directly from Marathon Petroleum in Grants, where he worked for about 8 years doing very large engineering and construction projects there. He is a civil professional engineer. And prior to working at Marathon, he was in Puerto Rico doing municipal development at the state level, so around all of Puerto Rico, and as well as at the municipal level. So he's quite familiar with municipal development projects. And in Puerto Rico, when you do a project like that, like a hospital or a school, you build all the roads around it, you build the pedestrian facilities, the intersections, as well as the utilities and the facility itself. So, and it ends up that Puerto Rico has some similar process to ours. Their procurement process is similar, their governing body processes are reminiscent. So we're really happy to have Javier. He's not a traffic engineer the way John Romero was, so we'll continue to work on filling the traffic engineer position. And he hasn't ever lived in Santa Fe before, so he'll have a lot to learn about the city, but I think the investment in training Javier will be well worth its while. And I'd like to welcome Javier and give him a chance to say a few words about himself.
Mr. Rosado, welcome aboard. Would you like to address us?
Yes, I'm really excited to join the Santa Fe City team. I'm confident that I could be a lot of help for the city, and I'm more than willing to provide my experience and knowledge in public hearing procedures and this kind of developments for the city. So, I like to thank all of you for the opportunity that was given to me. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rosado, and welcome aboard.
Thanks.
Any other councilors have any questions or comments for Mr. Rosado? All right, just a lot of smiling faces, Mr. Rosado, and thumbs up. So thank you again, and welcome aboard. Anything else, Ms. Wheeler?
No, thank you, Chairman.
All right, Mr. Jones, anything?
There was nothing else from me, Chair. Thank you.
All right, matters from the committee. Councilor Vihil Coppler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to relay the discussion, well, actually, I guess the text that you and I had that with regard to safety reports, that
Yes.
we're now going to ask for them quarterly.
Yes.
So just so in the event the other committee members kind of, we go down the road and they don't see a safety report, it's not that we forgot or that staff forgot.
Thank you, Councilor Vihil Coppler. They did bring that forth, and we did agree to have quarterly safety reports. So we'll be seeing that in the next probably 2 months or so. Thank you for bringing that up. Anyone else? Anything else from the committee? All right, matters from the chair. The only thing I wanted to bring up, and it goes along with what Councilor Vihil Coppler was saying earlier. I think this one did make some of the news, but just wanted to congratulate Keep Santa Fe Beautiful on their Innovation Award for the entryway sign on the median coming off of US 84-285. That did make the news, and I'm not sure who put it out, if it was Keep Santa Fe Beautiful staff or somebody else, but just wanted to congratulate the staff on that award as well. It's a beautiful sign. I drive by it pretty frequently on the way to my mother's house, so I'm able to see it, and it's a nice sign welcoming people into the city of Santa Fe. So congratulations to Keep Santa Fe Beautiful. I didn't have anything else. With that, our next meeting is Monday, February 22nd. Unless anyone has anything pressing, we are adjourned. Thank you to everybody. Joe, everybody, thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.